Hey guys, if you're watching this video, it looks like you are considering doing the higher level essay for your final year project. At the higher levels in IB, when you do the HL essay, you're required to write a formal essay of 1,200 to 1,500 words. And that essay will develop a particular line of inquiry. That is your own choice. You can find a topic that you're interested in and connect it to the literary work that you've studied. So a lot of times students will use things like particular lenses or global issues or some of the key concepts that we talk about and look at in IB. For our purposes for this essay, there's going to be a couple of modifications. Number one, I'm not going to let you choose any book that we've looked at the entire year. You do need to focus on The Color Purple. However, within the concept and construct of The Color Purple, you can choose any line of inquiry that you choose. So you can look at some of the cultural and contextual issues that we researched. You could also use critical lenses there, or a myriad of other things that suit your purpose. Secondly, I'm not going to restrict you specifically to 1,200 to 1,500 words. Your essay does need to be between 2 and 4 typed pages. So of course that's MLA style, so you're going to be double spacing those pages. So it puts it down into a manageable task. Please do not extend over 4 pages. First of all, I don't want you investing that kind of time into it right now, especially as we come to the conclusion of the year. Your surveys were, most of you said you were spending the appropriate amount of time on the classwork. I had a couple students who were spending over the amount of time, but by keeping it between 2 to 4 pages, you can really keep your research and topic focused, and it'll be a manageable task for you. So this essay offers students an opportunity to develop as independent, critical, and creative readers and thinkers and writers by exploring a topic over a period of time. And so what that means is that this is a process work. You are not going to sit down in a timed manner and just pump out an essay. So you are going to start with drafting thesis statements, looking for textual evidence for 1 week, and doing a little organizing. And then in your second week, you are going to thoroughly organize and refine your work. And then the third week, you will draft your rough draft. In fourth week, you will complete revisions and submit a final draft. So this work may change quite a bit from beginning to end, and actually it pretty much should change a considerable bit from beginning to end. It also, by breaking it down like that and doing this over the next 3 to 4 weeks, we're going to, again, make your task much more manageable. So a little bit of further detail. The essay requires students to construct a focused analytical argument. So yes, you do need a arguable thesis. It needs to be specific. It needs to focus on a broader literary perspective. You also need to keep it formal. So you need citations and references. Your core text is going to be, of course, The Color Purple, so you need to make sure you have citations for that. But then any other research you do, whether that's critical lenses or that cultural and contextual research, you need to include the citations for that as well. I am hoping that within that framework, that the Padlets that we made and some of the other stuff that we did on It's Learning will help you and help streamline that process, because you should have citations on each of those items to look at. So you can always go back to your It's Learning planner, find that Padlet from, I believe it was week 7, I think, maybe week 8, and be able to access that information. And that's one of the reasons why we did it. So in choosing the topic, you do need to focus on one of our course's 7 central topics. So pretty much everything that we've done this year has had a binding element of these topics to them. So we've looked at identity, we've looked at culture, creativity, communication, transformation, perspective, and representation. So whatever your inquiry question is, whatever your topic is, you need to have it address at least one of, well, not at least one of those things, right? We don't want to be too broad in it, or else it will lose something in its specificity. So here's your process. You're going to begin by creating an inquiry question based on our central concepts that I just talked about above. You're going to review the primary text and additional work and analysis that you've done on the work to begin formulating an answer to that question. And that answer will essentially become your thesis statement. So again, those examples of resources would be your dialectical journals, the Padlets, our discussion boards, really anything that we've done throughout The Color Purple. The next step will be to use the organizational document that I provided that is posted on It's Learning. I will be collecting an outline for a week's worth of work. This is going to help keep us on track and from, waiting to the last minute to do things. So you will need to complete that document and turn it in. Of course, you have options for completing the document. You do not have to type on that specific document. If you want to use a journal or a note paper, just as long as you have those core components that the document asks for, you're golden. And so once that document is complete, you are going to have a really good start for your rough draft. So you can just draft that up. And you'll submit that the second to last week. You will then have some process work of peer reviews. So you will do the peer review work, make edits, and then finally submit your final project. I will be looking, when I do grade the final project, I will be looking that there is a significant and meaningful change in showing the process between your rough draft and your final draft. So do not turn in your rough draft twice. So that will get us through to the end of the year, and I think it's broken up into pretty manageable parts. It's pretty focused. It should not take you more than 2 to 3 hours a week, which is our goal for English work. And then if you look below here on the document, I have some examples of process inquiry questions. So I thought these would be a good inclusion because these are all relatively high level. They incorporate both essential text and these other more research-based ideas or concepts from critical lenses. So if you're looking at those questions, you should have a pretty good framework for what the expectation is as far as your inquiry question goes. So good luck if you choose to do this assignment, and if you have any questions, please email me.